Hey everyone, this is Dave here, back with another look at Ark. This time it's on Xbox One. So I actually first played this game a good couple of months ago, back when it was, first entered early access. And well, what can I say? I was disappointed with the results. The overall experience I thought was pretty awful at the time. Sub-native 720p resolution, and the performance was not great. Sub 20 FPS at times with screen tearing. Not something I was expecting to see on a current generation console, and well, it's not the kind of experience I'd really want on Xbox One. So I was intrigued to see how well the game is holding up now that we're sort of almost entering the kind of final release phase. The final game's going to be out at some point early next year, and there's been a ton of patches released over the last couple of months. So what's new? Well, there is an additional graphics settings in the option menu. We've got the option here called Detail Graphics, and basically the standard game runs at 680p or around that, whereas when you tick the Detail Graphics option you get 720p. So there's a small but kind of visible boost in resolution. Image quality really isn't great in either mode. There's plenty of aliasing, and it's kind of a rough looking game with regards to actual sort of sharpness and the general presentation, which is a shame because I think some of the art design is actually pretty cool. It looks quite good, especially with the lighting at certain times of day. But yeah, the overall aesthetic is pretty murky, and it's not really that great a presentation given the softness and the jaggies and that kind of stuff. Okay, so there's been a slight improvement in resolution, but when I first picked up this latest build of the game, I was, well, concerned, to say the least. Basically, when I first played it, it was a slow, stuttery mess, poor frame rate, screen tearing, and lots of hitches. We're looking at, the game pausing for a couple of seconds during basic gameplay. It's pretty horrible. At this point, I thought something's got to be wrong. I turned off the Xbox, I reset the router, I double checked all the networking connections just in case these issues were caused by poor internet. But no, on the subsequent playthroughs I got very similar results, and what I can say is when you enter areas that are a bit more detailed, performance tends to fall off a cliff, so you're looking at sub 20 FPS sustained, complete with screen tearing, and over 100 millisecond stutters where the game just stops. I'm kind of speechless because previously the performance wasn't great, but there are times where you could kind of enjoy it. But what I'm seeing here, it wasn't good at all. It's really hard to enjoy any aspect of the game when the performance is this bad. The stutters are probably the worst thing here. The sub 20 FPS is terrible, but having the game pause when you're turning the camera is really disorienting, and it's a pretty messy, often unplayable experience at the moment. Now, what I will say is that I'm not sure whether this is representative of the game, how it is now, or whether I've just caught it on an off day where stuff just isn't working. I did play it for a few hours, and I came back to it to see how it was holding up, but the experience is very, very similar to what you see here, at least what I played today. So yeah, not great. Doesn't really seem like much has been improved from what I played last time. In certain aspects it seems to have gotten worse in terms of the stuttering. It's worth mentioning that there is supposed to be a new patch for the game releasing on the 14th of December, which is today, but yeah, it's not gone live yet. The patch states that there's going to be 300 megabytes saved off memory usage and improved performance, so hopefully when it goes live we see some changes, but right now, yeah, the experience is pretty terrible all round. So I think I'll leave it there. That's where we're at with Ark on the Xbox One. I hope you enjoyed this analysis, and if you did, as always, don't forget to like or subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.